Bill, what's good, Bill?
Hey, what? Hey, listen. You got to get yourself together, though, Ryan. You got to, man. You was out of pocket for that. You shouldn't have did that, man.
You've been out of pocket. We both been out of pocket. I'll say that.
Well, listen. Let me tell you. But Ryan, with it being 3-3, you guys got so much on the line. It could not be that. You wasn't supposed to do that, dog.
Wait, what? I didn't. I'm saying it to your face. I never cheated. I never would cheat. I've never cheated in my career. Whatever I got popped for had to be tainted, and I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody say. I know I never cheated in my life.
But you
put down my mom that has cancer.
Yeah, but you did. That's not what you told the commission. You pled guilty to the commission.
Because it was either that or I go to court or wherever the hearing. And even if I win the hearing, they said that no matter what, they could suspend me. So I just took the year and said whatever. I know I didn't cheat. I don't need to cheat. I've been boxing my whole life. You know that. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. So I don't need to cheat, man. The truth is the truth.
How did it get in your system?
The guy that came to help me lose weight, his name was Scooter. He brought me supplements, and I took the supplements, and that was the day before the fight. And then it just so happened that I tested the day before and the day after. So that's exactly what happened. So a guy came in to help me lose weight, and I took the supplements he gave me, and for sure those are the ones that.
Okay, so hold on, champ.
Okay,
hold on,
champ.
Is it safe to say?
Hold on. So Ryan, so this was a day before the weigh-in?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
No, you couldn't wait. So
you knew I was in a bathtub. You know the bathtub technique. You know that one where you get the Epsom salt and it's hot as fuck, and then they take you off and they wrap you up in a towel, and then you redo it over and over again. So that's what I was doing all night, trying to lose that weight. And my body stopped at 143 pounds. I couldn't continue. I was hurting myself. So
but when did you take the supplement?
I told you that day.
And you took the supplement during the fight?
How can I take a supplement during the fight?
I'm saying the day of the fight, because you tested positive both days.
Exactly. Don't you think it would still be in your system? Think with your brain. It would still be in your system no matter what. If it's not going to be next day.
What was the supplement's name?
Name was the one that they test. I don't know which one it was. Those are the ones I didn't have no knowledge of.
Okay, so let me just tell you which ones. So we'll know so the world would know not to use the supplements. Which supplements were they?
Like I said, I don't know what supplement. Those are his supplements.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait, hold on. No, City, hold on. Let me Ryan talk. Now, so you saying that Scooter gave you something you don't even know the name of to this day, you don't know what the name of the supplements are.
Those are what the lawyers have, whichever ones that he provided me. He gave me 2 of the ones that he gave me. We sent that to a lab. They tested it, and it was tested with Ostrin in its tablets. My thing was tainted.
Which one?
There's no doubt in my mind.
What company? Which one? Which one of the supplements?
Bro, I'm telling you, I don't know what it's called. I just told you that.
Right, but that sounds like a lie, right?
Well,
that sounds like a lie.
Like a lie.
Because what I'm saying is because you've been so informative to the people about everything, you would let us know is Scooter the one that slipped the shit on you, or is it the company?
Scooter is the one that gave me the supplements. I'm gonna always stand by the truth. Scooter gave me the supplements. I took the supplements, and then I tested positive. That's it. Point blank period. There's no bigger story. I don't know what happened. It got blown out of proportion.
I got a question, champ. I got a question.
What was it?
Hold on, Bill.
Let me ask you one more question.
I just told you I don't know, Bill.
I know, but I'm saying it was used to cut weight, though. The supplement he told you, he said that you're going to use it. You're going to use it to cut weight?
Nope. He just gave me supplements. And
what was the supplement for, Ryan?
It wasn't for cutting weight. I don't know what he gave me. I'm being real with you. I don't even got to be on this live. I'm being real.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I don't know what it was.
Thank you for that.
I'm a man.
Coming up.
I'm right here. I'm not scared because if you're scared, then you're lying.
Okay, so why did you say that everyone had contaminated, that Victor, that Bill, that me, that everybody?
Because I'm very skeptical. I'm still to this day I'm skeptical. A man that got that was banned from another sport is helping you out. Devin Haney and your son has gained. He can lose so much weight, but then gain so much weight and then still fight for 12
Wait a
rounds.
minute.
That screams cheating.
But did Scooter bring the shit?
But answer the question: why isn't Devin Haney's record non-void? Because he went over the legal weight limit that you can gain.
There's no fucking such thing as going over.
That's what they're saying.
The legal weight limit. Because listen,
Devin Haney has been a weight bully his whole career. Even in the amateurs, he was a weight bully.
Will they give you a chance to lose the weight if you're overweight? Do they give you amount of time?
Yes.
Yes. So why weren't we? If we were a weight bully, why we weren't given time to lose the weight?
Wait, what do you mean? Weight bullying?
I'm saying is if we're weight bullying and they say that we're over the weight, why hasn't a commissioner, somebody says we're going to give you 15?
I don't know. Hey, some commissions enforce rules, some don't. I've seen it time and time again. Some enforce rules and some don't. Some turn a blind eye. Hey, Oscar Valdez got popped, and guess what? He got 0 suspension. Shane Mosley got popped, 0 suspension. Canelo gets popped 6 months. I get popped a year.
You know why?
It's just different rules.
The commission.
I had a billion grams.
The commission looked up.
You know how much a billion gram is, Bill? You could take a little salt, put it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and that's what I had in my system.
Hey, listen. If you have a pinch of heroin, is it in your system or not? There's no other way. There's no other way that pinch could get in your system.
Yeah.
Oye, mi gente. Yo. Welcome back to my No Live and Direct. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you like the content. We have a serious issue. Now, I don't see nobody talking about this, right? So I'm kind of glad that I think I'm the first one to put this out. And for y'all that support me, I love you. Thank you. We're about to take this channel to the next level. I believe the research that I do is second to none. And we're going to get into it. So let's talk about this conversation that Ryan what's the word I want to use? Stupidly had with Bill Haney. In this conversation, right? Because everybody's alluding to him basically admitting to taking ostomy, right? And in a sense, he actually gave himself up. If I'm right about what I'm saying, right? And we're going to get very into this. I promise you. Do not go nowhere. You don't want to miss this, right? Because I think I've solved this case, right? I honestly think I solved this case. Pat on my back. And let's talk about it, right? Ryan comes in to the conversation with Zab Judah, Mill City Boxing, Bill Haney. And he says, Bill, right? You saw it. Bill says, how you doing, right? And you know what? Shout out to you, Bill. This is a different Bill that we've seen, to the build up to the fight. There was a lot of aggressive talk. There was a lot of threats, I guess you would say. Disrespect. This was a different Bill. So shout out to you, Bill. You kind of handled this like an adult. And I feel like you did it for a reason, right? And we're going to get into that too. In this conversation, you see a clear example of when the adult talks to a younger person, right? Inexperienced. Let's use the word inexperienced person, right? And what we normally see from Bill is some fast talk, right? And what we normally see from Ryan is just blurting things out, right? Ryan, I'm gonna have to tell you, this was dumb. This was dumb, right? First of all, if you're talking about suing someone and they're talking about suing you, you don't speak to that person. Reason being, right? Because they could possibly be recording you. But in this instance, they didn't have to record you. It's being screen recorded by whoever was hosting that Instagram live. But let's get into the conversation. Bill starts to ram questions, right? First of all, he says, Ryan, that's what he says, Ryan, you got to get it together. Like, you know you were out of pocket for that. Now, Ryan didn't understand at first what Bill was saying. He just responded was, Bill, you've also been out of pocket. Sort of in a, let's just put it aside as men, it is what it is, friendly competition, blase, right? Then Bill goes further as to say, no, you are out of pocket. You should not have done that. What Bill's trying to do is get Ryan to admit to something in this conversation. Now, I don't know if Bill caught it. I don't think he did. I don't know if Zab caught it. I don't think he did. And I don't think Mill caught it either. I could be wrong. Mill's pretty damn good at his job, but I don't think he did, right? Bill goes further, right? Because Ryan responds to, wait a minute. What are you alluding to? He clarifies, I've never cheated. I'm telling you right now. I've been boxing all these years. You've known me since a kid. I've never cheated not once in my life. And I stand on that, right? That's what he said. Okay. Then Bill says, okay, if that's the case, you've been so outgoing and open about this situation with the public. Tell us what the name of the products are, right? Ryan claims he doesn't know. He doesn't know. I have no idea what they were. They were the two that the gentleman Scooter, if nobody knows who Scooter is, he's a nutritionist, someone who helps guys lose weight. In this sense, Ryan, right, to help him lose the weight for the fight. Now, there's two things Ryan said here, right? And you know what? I should have probably been a lawyer or maybe a district attorney. I've been through so many cases in my life that I just catch things like that, right? Now, I've beat 90% of my cases because I've been smart, right? And so I caught this, right? There's two things that he said that caught me immediately. The first thing he said was, I don't know what the products are. The two he gave me, right? It was the two that they got caught for ostering, right? But he doesn't know what they are. Bill, right? I don't even know if Bill knew what he was doing or if he was attempting to get Ryan to admit to something and then didn't realize that he got him to admit to something very vital. And I think Bill missed it because his own fast talk doesn't allow him to listen, right? I mean, I even wanted to hear what Mill City was about to say about Scooter. In that conversation, right around that time frame I'm talking about, Bill's pressing Ryan on some questions. What's the name of the products? So we can tell the world not to use them. Now, I'm certain that Ryan's legal team or whoever's around him that has half a brain told him, do not mention any names of any products, correct? Because that would be defamation or, you're slandering a brand name without knowing, right? Without knowing the facts. It's kind of what he did with NutriBio and the other, the other creatine product he was taking. So here's what he said that was so vital in this conversation that all three gentlemen missed this. Bill says, when did you take it? He said, I took it right before the fight, right? He said, yeah, but when? Because the fight was on the 20th, right? The fight was on the 20th, so you took it the day before? He goes, yeah, the day before. He goes, and then you took it during the fight? He goes, no. How could I take it during the fight? So Ryan's playing the stupid game here, right? Now, Ryan, I've tried, right? I've tried very hard. To be honest with you, I've tried my best to be so neutral in this situation so I wouldn't get backlash on my channel. I wouldn't have the Haney jumping down my, neck trying to, call me, and they have. No matter what I've done, they have, right? Ryan fans have been a little less, aggressive. But Bill says, so what is the names so we can tell the world not to take them? He says, I don't know. They're Scooter's products. Bill goes on to ask, was it to cut weight? Were they to cut weight? Ryan unknowingly answers the question, no, they weren't to cut weight. But see, here's the thing. Ryan, your job before the weigh-in was to cut weight, right? So, NutraBio is not a cutting agent, like a cutting weight agent, right? It's not gonna, creatine is absolutely not something you take when you're trying to cut weight, because what that does, creatine gives you water. It retains the water in the body, right? So you're not gonna lose weight. It's the reverse of what, right? If you're taking a NutraBio, it's more, that most likely has a whey in it, right? If that's a protein, which that's what it looked like, it most likely has a whey product in it, right? Which is to enhance mass, right? There's carbohydrates in that, carbs. So you're not gonna take that. You're not gonna take that if you're cutting weight, and that was your primary job, was to cut the weight. You had to make the weight, right? And if that's why you hired Scooter in the first place, because you were nowhere near making that weight. So you needed him as a professional to come in to help you lose the weight. Okay, you guys ready? So that was the first clue. Red flag went off in my head. I said, wait a minute. Both of those products that he's talking about are the ones that popped for the ostarine. Both of those products have nothing to do with cutting weight. The next thing that Bill says, again, actually he reiterates, if I'm not mistaken, he goes, so it wasn't to cut weight? Ryan says, no, it wasn't to cut weight. Ryan, again, you need to watch yourself, what you say. You shouldn't have been talking to Bill Haney at all, especially online. Your lawyers must be going out of their effing mind, bro, because I wouldn't even want to represent you at this point, because you're making it that difficult. Straight up. I'm just being real with you. I like you as a person. I think you're a great fighter. But at this point, because of what you said, and this is why you shouldn't have been online, I have to now I have to go with what they've been talking about, you cheating. And I'm not saying let's slow down a little bit. I have to still try to be neutral, but it's what you said that clearly kind of gave me like, whoa, wait a second, hold on here. Was it intentional? Here's the question that the world wants to know. Was it intentional or was it not? So here's the next thing Bill says. He keeps going with it, right? Just give us the name. We just want the name. Now, I know what Bill is doing, right? Bill is playing a lawyer, right? He's kind of playing a lawyer. He's hitting them with the questions. The kid's uncomfortable. He even says, Bill, I told you, I don't know. If you don't know, then how do you know it wasn't to cut weight? That's first things first. Then you go on to say, we sent those products in, the two products. They popped for ostarine. I'm going to stand on that. But how did two products that are not used for cutting weight at all, I've been in the workout world for a long time. I've dabbled with steroids. I'm very familiar with steroids. None of those products have steroids in them, right? I mean, if they're not labeled on the back, a company could slip something in there like an ostarine. We know that USADA has alluded to that. But the lot numbers were tested. The company's willing. They're not saying they are going to sue you, because the fact of the matter is them trying to prove that the ones you have. This is why the company won't sue them, guys, by the way. The company won't sue them, right? Yeah, they tested their products. Facts. Lot number comes back clean. So now Ryan has to redact what he said and not mention their name at all, right? So it's a good thing that the company came out, defended themselves. I don't believe they're going to try to sue Ryan, because how can they prove that his products, the ones he owns, weren't popped, right? Which they did pop. Question is, what kind of testing did they do for those products? Could they tell, or did they go as far to find out that the levels of ostarine that were in the products equaled out to the same levels of ostarine that were in the system? That's the first question I have, right? But then we know that the products are not used for cutting weight anyway, so why would you take them during a time that you're not gaining weight? You're cutting weight. You have to cut weight. You got to make weight. But then you said something so interesting. So interesting. You said out of your own mouth.
Those are what the lawyers have, whichever ones that he provided me. He gave me 2 of the ones that he gave me. We sent that to a lab. They tested it, and it was tested with Ostrin in its tablets.
What?
So my thing was tainted.
What?
There's no doubt.
The tablets. The tablets. What tablets? I've been reporting this for a long time, right? Since this started, since he popped, I've been reporting this. A lot of content creators have been reporting this. I haven't heard not one other time did I hear anybody bring up tablets. Not one other time did I hear Ryan bring up tablets. Nowhere in this epic story have I heard tablets. But it came out of your mouth in this interview, and I believe I've busted this case wide open, and I believe you put your foot in your mouth, and you are now caught. I'm going to tell you why. Because ostarine is an oral drug. What is a tablet? An oral drug. Now, you can get ostarine in pill form, or you can get it in liquid form. All you got to do is get the little squeeze, thing, squeeze it, pull the liquid up, a couple droplets in your mouth, just like what did Canelo Alvarez get popped for? Clenbuterol. Clenbuterol is an oral drug. It's something now. Now Clenbuterol get your heart going like this. You want something more crazy than cocaine. Clenbuterol is where it's at, right? And it'll melt fat away like nobody's business, right? So these are oral PEDs. Here's the thing. He talked about I got hit with 0.6 billionth of a gram. Use your head, Bill. Of course, if I took it the night before, it would be in my system to find. Okay, but see, if you took large doses, it's a good thing I'm kind of familiar with steroids, right? You're not gonna take ostarine the night before. And it doesn't matter how much you take, right? You could take the whole bag of pills, and it's not gonna help you the next day because it's not worked into your system, right? I don't know where these guys came up with why that would even happen, right? But I believe I understand what's going on here. We understand that Ryan tested negative for, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, right, with VADA. Now, WADA is the transporting agency. WADA is one of the gold standard companies of the world when it comes to testing. How could you somehow not test positive if you were taking it during that time? So 2 things might have happened here. Either he really did think he could get away with taking ostarine the night before, and Scooter had nothing to do with this, right? Because he's saying Scooter. He got the products from Scooter, right? Now, I've been a criminal in my past, guys. I'm not proud of that, but I'm gonna break some things down for you. If it were me who just got caught and I want to get away with it, well, I would know how many of those pills I took, right? He mentioned tablets, guys. We can't avoid that. He said it, I didn't. I would know how many I took the night prior to that fight, right? Thinking it's going to make me, you know what I mean? I'm going to go in there and whoop this dude. So I would know that, right? I would know, I'd say, hey, you know what? How many come in this bag? 25? Is it safe to take 10 of them right now? Of course it is, because you know why? Austrian is a weak pet. It's like Anavar. And I said that in my last video. Most men who are on steroids will not even mess with that stuff. The only way they're going to mess with it is if they're stacking it with something to lose weight, right? Now, Austrian is a weight-cutting agent, right? It will. And it'll also build muscle mass. It'll make you stronger. But over a long period of time. It is not a miracle drug. It doesn't work that way. So, did Scooter, right? The question is, did Scooter have anything to do with this? In the conversation, Ryan says, yeah, Scooter gave him to me. Yeah. Well, Scooter was sent out notification about the products, right? Scooter said, actually, excuse me, I believe it was Ryan's legal team that reached out to Scooter and said, hey, can you send me those products? Scooter said, no. Actually, if I'm sending them anywhere, I'm going to send them to WADA or VADA, whichever one it was. I'm not sending them to you, right? Because Scooter wanted to be protected. Scooter also has a brand, a company he needs to protect, correct? So if he does something stupid and sends it to Ryan's team or anybody over there, now he just put himself in a position to be played with, right? So Scooter says, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sending it right to the testing agency. They asked for him, I'm sending it to them. So now Ryan's legal team backs off from that. So here's the thing. If you don't know which products it was that he gave you, how did you know to give them the 2 products that popped for Austrian? Could it be, wait a second now, could it be that he left you those 2 products, but he's hired to help you lose the weight? So why would he leave you products to gain weight? That doesn't make sense, does it? Right? But you mentioned the tablets. That's the problem, buddy. You mentioned the tablets. So, as I mentioned, if I took Austrian with the intent to cheat, I would know, right? Especially in a bag that comes with 25, right? Maybe 50 of them. Depends on what side, which one you get. I would know, right? Especially if I have them left over. I could just do a count. I could just pour them out and say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I got this many left. I must have took this much. Now, here's what you can do. You can take the same amount that you took that night, put it in a sifter, grind it up to very fine powder, and go. You don't need a scientist to do that. You don't need a scientist to do that. Now, back to my question. Did those tests test for how much Austrian was found in the product and how much was in the system? And did that match? Right? Did that match? Here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing. And Blue Blood, who I respect a lot, watch his channel. Some things I disagree with, some things I don't. But nevertheless, one of the guys who does something just like myself, and I respect his research, and he did a great job of breaking this down. And for a little while, right, I actually was like, man, I'm not sure if he's being biased here, right? I don't know if he's being neutral. But you know what? He did a great job of getting the research done and giving you facts, right? Now, I also watch other content creators here and there. We do that. I do that. I don't know if they do that. I do that, right? I want to know how good I am at what I do. I want to know if I'll ever be as good as some of these guys, because I respect them, right? So in watching it, I noticed that he talked about the lot number and the products that were tested. So he mentions only Ryan's. Do you know how lucky he would have to be? It's like hitting the lottery. Do you know how rare that is for just 2 of the products that he bought, or not bought, but were given, according to him, from Scooter, to have Austrian in them, but none of the others do? So could it be what I said? Could it be that he had purchased these Ostarines, and because he's a kid and he's inexperienced, because it doesn't seem like I like Ryan a lot. Ryan, I like you a lot. I really do. But I got to call a spade. And when you do the things you do and you talk too much, you kind of put your foot in your mouth. And now I got you, buddy. I think I got you. When you mentioned tablets, and I don't believe I ever heard that tablets were tested. Haven't heard of that at all. Not even a little bit. So now, here's the thing. If he took, let's say he took 10, 15 the night before of these Ostarine tablets, right? We know it's not the liquid because he said tablets. If he took a big amount, knowing that it was safe, maybe speaking to somebody, right, that has a little knowledge of Ostarine, and they said it's a weak drug. Take a good amount. Here's what we used to do in jail to get away with doing drugs in jail, basically, right? I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Listen, I am not going to ever hide my past, right? If anybody ever wants to have a discussion, if you ever need help with getting off of drugs, you know, I am very upfront about my stuff, right? Because I've changed my life. Things are different. But I'm going to tell you some things that we did in jail, right? To pass urine screens. And that's what he took, was a urine screen. We would drink water consistently. I mean, ridiculous water, right? Like 2 gallons a day. It was ridiculous how much we would drink. And piss, and piss, and piss, and piss, and piss, right? We would also work out ridiculously, right? And what are you doing when you work out? You're sweating, you're sweating, you're sweating, you're sweating. So, what are you losing at that point? Water, but you're replacing the water. So when you pee, what do you pee? It's not yellow pee, it's clear, right? You're basically pissing the water. If you're not drinking anything else, if you're not eating anything else, and you're just doing a couple drugs and you don't want to get caught in jail, just drink I'm talking about a dookie amount of water, right? And you will pass. You will pass. By the way, when they bring the cups around to your cell, they watch you. Right there, they watch you. So there's really no way you could actually try to cheat. Say if you had something else and say, oh, I got to pour it in there. It's not going to work. So the only way we knew how was to drink a shit ton of water and work out to sweat out whatever we had. Right? Now, could that be? Because you also mentioned that you were doing the, the bath salts, which also helped you lose weight. Could it be that while you were doing the bath salt, and you're sweating and sweating and sweating and sweating, that amount that you took is now becoming smaller because you're draining yourself. You're draining yourself. There's the billionth of a gram. The small amount, right? Again, very, very, if that's the case, very dumb. Very, 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 very dumb to do, because it's not going to help you. When you do these PEDs, any injectable, any oral PED, anything at all, clenbuterol, anything that helps you in performance-wise, you need to work it into your body. So now, back to what I was saying. Maybe, I don't know how rigorous water testing is, but could he have been doing the Ostarine, during the time of the build-up to the fight, the 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever? Because to be honest with you, if you want the effect of Ostarine, you could definitely feel an effect. It'll be light, depending, right? Like it depends. It's all about the body, whose body it's going into. If it's going in mine, I'm a very large guy, right? I'm 6'1", I'm 300 pounds, right? I'm mostly muscle, but I got some chunk to me, right? Big, sexy, zaddy, right? But anyway, it's going to be harder for me to get it out of my system, right? But if you're a skinny kid like him, who's at 140, well, it's going to come out faster. You know what I mean? He's constantly working out. He works out every day, right? He's sweating a lot. So could he have been doing it, right, for 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, whatever? I have to say this is all alleged, by the way. This is alleged, because I'm not trying to defame him. I'm not trying to, listen, I'm just not trying to tarnish your name, buddy. But at the end of the day, you said tablets, and I never heard that come out of your mouth. I've never heard that come out of any reporter's mouth. I never heard of any writer talking about tablets. Nobody has said the word tablets. You did, straight out of your mouth. So, could you have been hydrating on a heavy level while working out with Derek James, sweating that out, and then going to urinate, and them not being able to catch it because all you're basically doing is pissing water, right? When you were a little thicker, maybe, you know what I mean? But then once you drain down, right, there's not much water to piss out. So you're getting what's in there. Now, I got to give credit to Deep Waters, because when they first explained this, I don't know, maybe a month ago, they were speaking about it in a scientific form, right? Where I was just like, well, I don't get that, right? But today, when I heard him say it, it just, criminal mind popped in. I said, well, that's the way we used to do it. And now that makes sense what Deep Waters used to say, said a month ago. So shout out to y'all, Deep Waters. But there you have it. He said tablets. Bad move, buddy. Bad move. And I was so interested in listening to what Mill City had to say, because he was trying to interrupt. He wasn't trying to interrupt. He was trying to say something while Bill Haney was rigorously asking questions to Ryan Garcia. And he alluded, he said Scooter mentioned, and then Bill stops him. I wanted to know what you said, man. No, I wanted to know what Scooter said. I believe you were about to say, if I'm not mistaken, maybe if you see this, you can correct me. But I think you were about to say, well, Scooter did say he was willing to, send the products to be tested? Or you know what? Let me not even take a guess. If you see this, comment, man. Leave me something in my box so I know, because I was so interested to hear because I haven't heard anything from Scooter, so I'm curious. Oh, boy. That is an ugly situation, buddy. If no one else caught this, and I'm the only one who caught this, which I doubt. I mean, there's some good guys out there, man. They know what they're doing. They're pretty good at what they do. But I caught it. I heard you say tablets, and it was quick. The guys you were speaking to didn't catch it, because if they did, they would have been like, whoa, tablets. At least I would have, right? They didn't catch it. So I'm wondering if anybody caught it. But that's wild. Because that proves intentional, right? That proves the intent. Plain and simple. Scooter's not going to listen. Let's just look at this a little further. Scooter has nothing to do with the Haneys. I don't think he's ever been in any trouble with them. I don't think he's ever argued with them. I don't think he has anything to do with the Haneys to have to do something like that. Does he have a problem with you, Ryan? Is there a reason why Scooter would go out of his way to basically frame you? Is there any reason why he would put his business in jeopardy to help you cheat? Listen, if I'm a world-renowned nutritionist, if I'm being sought out by professional athletes to help them, I'm not helping you cheat. I have a brand. This is my livelihood. This is what I do for money. Most likely the guy has a family. It's how he puts food on the table. I'm not helping you do that. And to be honest with you, neither would I take a risk in framing you, right? If I have a problem with you, I probably wouldn't even have worked with you. If you called to hire me, I would have been like, no, man, I don't dig you. I don't like you. I don't want to do nothing with you. So I'm kind of debunking that too, right? Because what incentive would he have to do any one of those things? Ryan, buddy, I'm sorry, but you are looking really bad right now. You are looking really, really bad right now. And I tried my hardest in my heart to give you the benefit of the doubt. I tried to think maybe he is getting set up, right? Maybe the conspiracy theory is real. But see, this is the problem with the world, guys. And this is what I said in one of my other uploads. We can't buy into the rhetoric. We cannot, listen, there are narratives here, right? You watch this YouTube stuff, you get online, social media, you tend to buy it. You tend to instantly be like, oh yeah, that could be truth to that. And now it creates division because other people who think outside the box do not buy it. And now both of you guys are colliding on who believes what. Well, I think I could put that to an end right now, right? Because you're not going to say the word tablets if tablets were not involved. It's just not going to happen. If it was, if you were taking protein and creatine, which you shouldn't have been doing, again, you were cutting weight, not gaining. You wouldn't have mentioned tablets. So what happened there, right, is your subconscious, your what do they call that? Your subconscious, right? That kicked in and that word just came out. You didn't mean to say it, but it's just that's what you remembered, right? And it just came out. And this is why if you're in court proceedings with someone else who's trying to sue you or you're trying to sue them, you do not speak with those people. You don't do it. Because now there's footage of you saying this. If I caught it, someone's going to catch it, and you're just, I mean, the ruling's already been made. And for those, let me clear this up too. For those who are thinking Ryan didn't, that penalty that he got for the year and the $10,000 fine and the $1.1 million he had to give back, for those who think that that wasn't because he got caught with the Austrian in the system, you guys are bugging, man. The products were tested. There was Austrian in them. He was tested. There was Austrian in him. The WBC decided to be very light with this, right? And say we don't want to punish Ryan that harshly. We want to help him, right? Because I believe that they are smarter than what you think they are. I see a lot of people dumping on the WBC and dumping on very intelligent people, right? I see content creators do it all the time as if you're a lawyer and you know, or if you're smarter than everybody else and you know. The WBC is smarter than what you guys think. They basically looked at it and said, this kid he's not all there, right? He's being affected by either alcohol or drugs, which at this point, we're going to assume it's more alcohol than anything. And he's making very, very rash decisions, not well thought through at all. And they probably understand exactly what's going on. If I'm able to break this down and do this, I'm pretty sure that people at that level of the world who are in the business can do the same thing. And they most likely understand what happened here. And they want to help you, right? Because you're not making the smartest decisions. So that was a plea bargain that he took. Him and his legal team agreed to take a plea bargain for a lesser charge. Let me explain that a little bit. Again, I don't know why I have to do this, but I did it in my last video. I'll do it for you again. When you go to court, I'll even use myself, bro. When I went to court for a very serious charge, I played it out. I waited, right? They gave me a plea bargain here, a plea bargain there. I said, no, I'm not taking it. No, I kept claiming my innocence. I'm not guilty. Then they hit me with something that was like, we kind of got you, man, right? And they were nice enough because once they got you, they got you. Because you didn't take the first plea bargain, they don't have to offer another one. They got you, right? But something came up where it was like, ooh. Well, if evidence, let's just say, is allowed to go in after it's not deliberation. I'm talking about when the defense and the district attorney in court share evidence. That's called something. I forget if one of y'all want to help me. That's called something. All evidence is supposed to be exchanged at that time. When that time passes, you are not to bring in any other evidence. It is very rare that a judge will allow that evidence in because you had that time to present that evidence into the court and for this case. So I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm just saying, could the heat been getting real hot in that kitchen where they might have mentioned something to you and you said, ooh, well, yeah, I'll take that plea bargain, right? And when they offer you a plea bargain, right, my serious charge that I was charged with was no longer that charge. I pled out to something smaller, right? I'm not going to tell you what. Fat chance. Sorry. I know it was getting good, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I pled out to something less. So that once I took the plea bargain, that's what was stated on the document, right? This is what he's being convicted for, right? That's the ruling. He's getting this because of that, because he admitted this, right? So the rest of the stuff goes out to the wayside. That's how it works. That's how it works. So he did pop, guys. It's not that he got, guys, it's ridiculous, man. Get it together. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't talk about it. Like you end up sounding wild, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not professional. So that is the case. He did get caught popping for the pets. My guess is they were smart enough to figure out exactly what happened here, and they had a conversation in that room. See, because they didn't even enter a trial. It didn't even go in front of a judge. They had a meeting in a room, legal team and the New York State Athletic Commission. Most likely WBC was there. I don't know. Who knows? I wasn't there. But I'm going to assume, and I'm pretty damn sure that this is exactly what happens, because this happens in real life in real court, that they had a little meeting in a room and said, listen, this is what we know. This, and this happened, and this is what we have you on. And if you try to move forward with this, granted, you could be found. We can still suspend you. Ryan said it himself in the video. You heard him. So he took the plea bargain because they still could have suspended him. And it could have been worse than just 1 year. So then they pled out. They decided not to go in that courtroom. So then when they did go into the courtroom, because it has to go into the courtroom, right? It's not, they don't just sign something and say, okay, yeah, we agree on that. No, you got to go in front of a judge, and the judge accepts the offer. That's how it works. The judge will look at both parties and say, okay, you guys both agree to this. Nobody is under the influence here. No one is forcing you to make this decision. Once you say, yep, I agree to that. No, I'm not high. No, I'm not under the influence. No, nobody's forcing me to do this. The judge will say, okay. Granted. And that's how it works. So, now let's get into Oscar De La Hoya.
All right, guys. Everybody talked about Ryan Garcia. Now it's Papi's turn. So, first of all, I don't condone pets whatsoever. Period. But let's talk about the inconsistencies, the penalties, the millions of dollars. I do not understand it. We should have a commission, okay, that oversees everything, every state, because Canelo Alvarez gets popped in a different state, gets 6 months. Shane Mosley gets popped and gets 0. So you're telling me that Ryan Garcia gets a year and millions of dollars? That is not right. Let's talk about Devin Haney now. Devin Haney, you're pathetic. You're dancing around in the bowling alley because you got your decision reversed. Nobody's gonna forget about that beating you took. Oh, and let's not forget, you're accusing me of not paying you? Bro, you just do not sell. That's the bottom line. You can audit my company anytime you want. I pay every fighter, and I'm pretty sure you got that from Canelo, when he started. So, bro, that 1 year layoff, that retirement, just enjoy it. Fuck you.
Let's get to Oscar De La Hoya. Brother, what's up with you, man? You feeling zesty? Like, what's going on with you in this? So, I mentioned before some of my other uploads, man, that before we got to this point, Bill Haney was making these, he was basically going on a run, man. He was making these like commercial style uploads about, Ryan Mayweather, right? You guys have seen him before, I'm sure. If you're followers of me and you've been online, this isn't old, man. If you're just catching on now, you're way behind. But they were like smear campaigns, what Bill Haney was doing. I now believe that Oscar De La Hoya has adopted this smear campaign style of uploading content. And in this video, the last one I seen was him. Excuse me, I'm very, very gassy today. The last one I seen was with him addressing Canelo Alvarez about another interview that he saw him trying to defame him. And Oscar goes on to tell Canelo Alvarez, well, I know people are stealing from you in your circle. Like, I know it. You should be checking your own circle, right? And you guys have seen that. I don't have to go into that one. But he does the F you, right? He goes right at the end. He goes F you, right? He did the same thing here with Devin, and he calls Devin pathetic, right? He says, Devin, you're doing this dancing and this and that. You're trying to say I didn't pay you. You basically don't sell. Well, here's the thing, right? This is the second promoter at this point who's kind of elaborated to that, right? Alluded to that he's not a big money earner, right? He's definitely can we say he's like a superstar? I don't know. Definitely portrayed that way, right? Definitely has accomplished many things in the sport of boxing at a very young age, right? What is he, a 3-time division champion, undisputed in one, at this point undefeated. Some people think he should be 31-3 or something like that, right? There was loss in Mexico, the loss to Devin, and the loss to Lomachenko. Many people think that that's what it should be, but that's not what it is. He didn't lose to Lomachenko, close fight, but he didn't. The judges went the other way. Guys, get it together. All right, the one in Mexico, nobody sees that footage. It's a myth story at this point. If you have no real evidence to it, you cannot claim that. That's just, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just being honest and neutral, right? Like, but I have to speak factual because I report this stuff. So I pride myself on knowing something and speaking the truth. And until we have actual evidence of something like that occurring, now we can say that Devin has handled this a little different, right? We're not used to seeing fighters handle situations in this fashion. What can we call it? He just didn't. He didn't do it to what the fans and the general public would have liked for him to do. But see, you guys are not him, right? And just because you don't like how he handled it, I mean, it's listen. He's gonna say what he's gonna say. He's definitely, in my mind, has jumped the gun a little bit, right, and said some things. But again, these guys are what, 25, 26 years old? All right. In a lot of people's eyes, they're adults, right? And that's true enough. After 18, you're an adult. But this generation's 25 and 26-year-old is a kid. They are so not like how we were. And you know what? That's not for anyone to take offense. It's true. I'm sorry. You guys are just not. You got social media. You're so caught up in these things. So many things are more important to you than it was for us back then. I mean, for Christ's sake, we used to ride around. We didn't have cell phones. We just didn't. We'd ride around the neighborhood on our bikes until we found the yard that had 12 bikes at it. That's where my boys at. That's where you stopped off and say, yo, is Alex here? Yo, it's Tito, right? Where's Victor? Right? Where's Lagrima? Right? Oh, what's up? Yeah. That's just how it went. Right? We didn't have that stuff. We weren't into this, right? It wasn't the gaming time, right? Where kids have these monstrosity of monitors and gaming systems, computers that are so powerful you almost can play the game yourself with a virtual helmet on. And we didn't have that. We were a little more mature than you guys, right? And that's not to be disrespectful, but that's a fact. Just like our generation, right? When we look at our parents' generation before us, they would absolutely tell us at the time too, you guys are just dumb kids. We were so much more mature than you, right? That was the age, 3 decades, 4 or 5 decades, 6 decades ago, right? My mother was born in 1960, right? And even before that, that was the generation of hard workers, the baby boomers, you know what I mean? And generations come and it just gets easier, and it just gets a little worse, it seems like, you know what I mean? And that's where we're at. So today's 25-year-old kid needs someone like Bill Haney to manage him, but I don't know how. I mean, is Bill around Devin all the time for him to tell him, look, don't get on the camera and say that? That was dumb, right? And would he? Would he do something like that because his son is 25 years old? If anything, you don't want to treat him like a baby. You got to let the guy do what he's got to do. He owns his own business. He's a multimillionaire. So he's not going to be micromanaged. He's just not. So, these guys are going to make mistakes. Should they have a PR person? Absolutely, 100%. Someone should be monitoring what you're saying at all times. And if they're not with you at all times, they should be telling you, listen, if you happen to go on Instagram tonight, or if you go on social media tonight, do not mention this. Ryan, tablets, I don't know, bro. That was crazy. That was crazy, bro. So, guys, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is I think I cracked this wide open. I think I solved this case. I think I know at this point that Ryan absolutely did this intentionally, because I don't believe Scooter would have put his company name or his reputation on the line. I don't believe he has any intention to do that to Ryan. I don't believe he has anything with the Haneys. I don't believe Victor Conte at this point. To be honest with you, I honestly am not a fan of Victor Conte. So I'm going to be very neutral, but I'm also going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of the guy. I don't respect him for cheating back in 2003 with baseball. And the only industry he can possibly make his money in right now is boxing. So I don't believe that he's going to jeopardize that either. Now, could he be? I don't know. And again, until we have facts, we just can't. We can't. You understand what I'm saying? We can't make these statements. It is. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I mean? Like, it is literally just you saying it, right? Because that's what you want to think and believe, because you got Ryan, who you guys are fans of. And again, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of all boxers. I don't have a favorite, right? I love the sport. So I can say this. The Ryan fans, you love him, and you're going to stand by him. The Haney fans, you love him. You're going to stand by him. I get it, 100%. But not on this channel, right? We talk truth. And I think I blew this right out the water, man. I think I got it right on the money. And Ryan, you gave us that gift. Thank you. Because if this is true, the world now can relax. The world now can say, okay, we got it. We understand. The ruling is what it is. It's already set in stone, right? You got the year. Take the year. Guys, Ryan, you gotta get it together, like Bill said. You know what I mean? Like, that would, if this is true, what I'm alluding to, right? Allegedly, I'm gonna have to say allegedly. This is what I've come up with. This is my breakdown of this. That was dumb. That was dumb. It wasn't gonna help you at all. And let me answer that too, by the way. For the people who think that the Ostarine had anything to do with beating Devin Haney, the only way, again, I'm gonna very clearly say this to you, the only way that Ostarine had any help in the fight, right, that it helped Ryan in any way, shape, or form in that fight, is if he was able to do exactly what I said. Take it for weeks at a time, drink a lot of water. I mean, tons and tons of water too. I'm talking about a lot. 2 gallons almost every day. And sweat it out, piss it out. Sweat it out, piss it out. And especially when you go to piss for these people. That's what you want to piss, is the water. You don't want to be dehydrated when you do this, because that's when they're going to see that, right? So, very good chance that might have happened. Again, I don't know how rigorous water is. If they catch it anyway, it's a good question. Somebody might want to help me with that. But if it is that what you're saying is you took it the night before the fight, that was dumb, man. It's not going to help you. Not even one little bit. Not even one little bit. It didn't help you beat Devin. That was all Ryan beating Devin, guys. Straight up. Even though he got caught with it in the system and he took it, yes, that's cheating. But if that's true, what he's saying is I took it the night before, that had nothing to do with him beating Devin Haney. What might have helped him beat Devin Haney is the fact that he came over 3 pounds, 3.2 pounds of weight. That might have helped him, right? Because then hydrating again, you're going to come in a lot heavier than Devin Haney is. Plus, you're a bigger guy. So that is what I have for you guys. You're welcome. I hope everybody resonates with this, right? Maybe you'll be angry with me. I don't know. But I do love you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Share this. If you hear no one talking about this, share it, please. I want everybody to hear this. And I want to be the first one to come out with it. So that's it. Your boy Mono Live and Direct. I'm out of here, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. You're welcome. No, it didn't. It didn't do that.